perfect gift speaks volumes. Onyechukwu Oko stands as a visionary behind Nigeria's famous bespoke gift company, Olander Signature. Known as the billionaire's gift curator, Onye is a go-to consultant for high-net-worth individuals and Fortune 500 companies, crafting experiences that leave a lasting impression. A first-class graduate of estate management from the University of Lagos and a master's degree holder from Henley Business School, Onye's journey is one of transformation and excellence. From real estate to FMCG, she gained vast experience in organizational design, strategic planning, and market entry before making her mark in the world of luxury gifting. But Onye's impact reaches far beyond the realm of gifts. As a Christian author, mentor, and destiny igniter, she equips others to live fulfilling lives with grace, grit, and grandeur through her mentoring series at TLWO. Her passion for inspiring others is as strong as her eye for design. An alumna of prestigious programs like 360 Women in Africa and Google Hustle Academy, Onye has been recognized for exceptional work, with Olander Signature winning numerous awards, including Top 10 Startups by the Entrepreneur Africa and the Niger Tech Pitch Competition. Onye Oko is more than a gift curator. She is a creator of experiences, a mentor, and a leader. Through Olander Signature, she transforms thoughtful gestures into unforgettable memories, leaving her mark on the hearts of many.
Hi, my name is Onye Oko. I'm the CEO of Olander Signature. Olander Signature is a full bespoke gift service company based in Nigeria. We offer bespoke gift services to individuals and organizations who are looking to build their connections, connect more with their teams, and also build long-lasting, meaningful relationships. So our services, basically what we do is that we offer personalization, we do corporate gifts, and branding, corporate branding as well as bespoke gifting consultation. We offer various services along the bespoke gifting consultation. So if you're a company or an organization looking to improve employee retention, so we do reward and recognition advisory. We also do employee company swag items, so promotional gifts, promotional gifting items as well. There are a lot of things that we do, but basically we're focused on bespoke gifting and specialized solutions. One thing that stands us out as a company is that our mission is to deliver awesomeness. We have moved, or we have translated gifting into an art form. So for every detail on everything that we do, our aim is to make sure that our clients have a stress-free, delightful experience when it comes to gift giving. So our journey started in 2017. So in 2016, I was working for a food and beverage company in Lagos, and I wasn't exactly working for the food and beverage company. It was just like a subsidiary, more like. So I realized that I had overheard a conversation that they were having issues with one of their kids brands. So they wanted to, it was getting expired in like maybe few months, and they also needed to get those products out. So I was just like thinking maybe there is a solution. So I reached out to a friend of mine, Kester, and we brainstormed on certain ideas, and I reached out to my boss, and he said, you know what, these ideas are really cool. Why don't you go ahead and implement them? So I remember having to tell them, okay, we're going to do It was close to Children's Day, you remember, and we're going to do like packages for the children, including our gifts, including the gifts packaging as well. So including the product we're selling in the company, it was a kids beverage. I went to schools And when I reached out to some of the schools, they mentioned that they didn't just want our product, they wanted it to be packaged with other items. So I went back to my boss and he was like, okay, just go ahead and do what you want. And so I did all that calculations and I presented it to the schools that I reached out to. And one of the schools was like, oh, this is great. And they actually booked. And I remember just coming out and, just having the products being sold and also making profit from it. So I think for me, it was just like the beginning of something good, but I didn't know that it was going to be a business. So a year after, when I was just, driving, and God told me like this is a business that you're going to do. And so a few months after that experience, I actually started it. That was in 2017. So my journey so far has been interesting. It has been worth the while. It has been a good journey. Obviously, there are challenges along the way, but it's been a learning time for me as well as growth for me as a person, not just for my business, but also as an individual. With the gifts company, I think I'll say one of the major challenges I've had, I wouldn't say is a challenge, but I'll say that um is also for us as a trigger to keep working, is the fact that when you meet with individuals and corporations, and sometimes mostly with individuals, like basically if we serve a client base, whatever they want to give their clients or their team, and you represent or recommend certain products to them, um 2 years after or 2 months after, they will want something different, like really, like, because times are changing, people are also changing, needs and preferences change as well, so they will want something different. And if you serve the customer for 5 years, 6 years, you can't keep presenting the same items to the person. So we have to understand the trends. We have to be up to date. We have to make sure that we are innovating. We're creating something different. We're also creating value for the customers, because that's why we're in business. We're solving their problem and we're creating real value for them that will keep them coming back. And another challenge I faced at the beginning when I started was getting strategic suppliers, because most of what we do is we need products. So as much as now some people say they'll prefer products or prefer experiences. Whichever the case, our duty is to make sure that we satisfy our clients. So one of the challenges was the customers. So for example, like you need to get the right suppliers to be able to meet your customers' needs. So getting the strategic supplier, some of the strategic suppliers that we have today, was as a result of the learning that we had done before now. So, but obviously we've overcome that challenge because we've learned along the way and we've grown and we understood that there are certain criteria to look out for, and obviously once bitten, twice shy. Okay, so the exciting part of owning this brand is the fact that I get to use my skills. I'm a very creative person. So being able to use my skills to be able to create and curate things. I also have I love retail. I've been in retail for a while in my career. So just being able to have to, deal with products and source for products. So everything products and taking care of inventory is something that I really like. So just being able to use my skills, the opportunity to meet a lot of people. So we have done giftings for celebrity clients. We've done giftings for a lot of people who are influential in society, even politicians, even a governor of Lagos State, his wife, and some other billionaires. So just being able to have access to those people because of what I do, and as well serve people in a unique way. It's a gift and something that I really appreciate, and I do not take for granted. So for every gift that goes out, it's a lot of content, a lot of thinking behind the scene. It's We pour our heart into every detail that we do, whatever we do at Olander Signature. So for me, it's exciting. It's an exciting experience. Another thing is that I also get to learn. Like I literally it's every day I'm learning something new. I'm evolving. I'm also growing as a person. So it just gives you the opportunity to do a lot of things that I've always wanted to do.
Hi, Oli.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me about your business.
Okay, so this is Olander Signature. It's a full service bespoke gift company based in Nigeria. We serve um, customers, that's B2C customers, with B2B. So that's our client base. So we offer individual gifting services, personalized services, corporate gifts, and bespoke gifting consultation to both individuals and organizations as well.
That sounds lovely. I'm seeing some
Thank
of the work
you.
that you have brought here with you. It's very bespoke. It's very nice. How long have you been doing this?
So since 2017,
Okay.
yeah.
And did the COVID impact you at all?
Interestingly, we were still delivering gifts even during COVID because obviously people still had like birthdays, things to celebrate. So people just wanted that fact that people, sending gifts to people to just know that they were thinking about them. And we also created specific gifts during the COVID. So some like wellness gifts,
Face
just to,
masks.
yeah. So we had also like food boxes, just something to help people go through transit that period properly.
Excellent. So you've been doing this for a considerable amount of time. You're still growing, which is it all looks wonderful. What's what are the top two challenges of your business right
So I say the first is the fact that obviously we need to keep going in terms of we keep innovating because trends are changing. A lot of things are happening, and people also understand the fact that what you want today may not be what you want tomorrow. So we have to understand our customers more. We have to keep creating value in such a way that resonates with them, not just today, but for the future. So obviously, one thing I also forgot to mention or did mention was the fact that we're also using technology to also make gift giving smarter and easier.
now?
Okay, so last year we're in a competition, although it's still an MVP, we're in a competition and we're able to create an app. It's called Nora. So Nora is like an extension of a Lavender Signature. So what we do is help individuals, organizations gift smarter and simpler. So with AI gifting suggestions, it just makes the whole process simpler and smarter for them. So all the tussle of trying to find the perfect gift and what the budget is actually just made stress free. So
Exciting. So the challenge is basically to continue to grow and innovate.
yes,
Doesn't your app kind of solve that problem?
yes, it does, but it's not like a one-time solution. We need to keep listening to what the customers want, what you're saying, and also improving on it.
How does this impact your cash flow? Like, how does it become a real problem? It's don't get me wrong. It's a problem, yes, but that's essentially the value addition that you bring to the business. Check the trends, know which way the winds are blowing. That's your expertise. That's the human quality that you bring to a business. But where it translates into a business problem is when it actually starts choking aspects of your business in terms of growth or in terms of market reachability. So, how does this actually become a real business problem?
Okay, so how does it? So that's a problem we've already solved,
Okay.
but we're still in the process of solving. Let me put it that way. So
So then, okay, then I guess that we move on to your second problem. Like I said, the top two problems. One is this thing where you have to constantly evolve, and it's like fashion. You have to be
yeah,
at the edge
yeah,
of that.
to
Perfect.
become relevant.
Yeah. So that's the value that you, as the founder of the company, bring to the company, right? That's the creative aspect. It's not a science. It's a creative enterprise. From a cash flow perspective or profitability, this thing. Um, perspective, what are the issues that your business face, if any?
Okay,
And if they're not, then great, fantastic, good for you.
yes, okay, so from that aspect, I'll say like with access to funerals.
Okay.
Obviously, that's the lifeblood of every organization. So that's something we haven't we've just been dependent on one source of funding, which is like obviously like the business and reinvesting. So obviously we know that we will do more in terms of like capacity, production, and market reach if we're able to have the right funds in terms of like to support the business growth.
But what are your net margins, if you don't mind me asking? You can just give me a ballpark. It doesn't have to be exact.
Okay, so let me see for the first quarter, roughly I'll say like 2 million plus.
So that net margin in terms of percentage of your sale, do you know that? Or if you don't, that's fine as well. The reason I'm asking is because borrowing money or access to finance is extremely expensive in today's climate. It's almost at 36% annually, that's 3% monthly. Is your business capable of taking that additional cost and still be profitable? Uh, that's really the question. So it's a 3% monthly against whatever you borrow. So let's say you borrow three,
It's even higher.
yeah. So I mean, 36 is like that's the bare minimum that the banks are offering right now. So you can see that access to finance is not the issue per se. I mean, it is a issue, but it's not the issue. The main issue is that after you take the financing,
Yeah.
can you sustain it? Like if you are at that point working for the bank, where all you're doing is all your money goes to the bank, then maybe financing is not the deal for you. Instead of doing it in 2 years, it will take you 5, but at least you have money in your pocket for that drive.
Yeah. It could be other sources as well. So like grants or any other.
Well, your line of work is a little interesting in terms of like getting a grants, right? Because it's attracting almost a premium kind of a market space, as opposed to gifts are not a necessity. So if you were like an agri entrepreneur, or if you were a impact entrepreneur, then grants are available for that. But if because you are an upscale, like it's a nice to have as opposed to a must have, then grants become. I'm not saying that grants don't exist, but become now lesser. The other way to raise financing is basically to sell out equity of your company. That's another thing that you could potentially do, but that also comes at a cost. So there is no financing that is cheap. What I applaud of your this thing is that you have been in business now for what 7 8 years, and 7 years, and you are still here, which is on the right side of statistics that show that most businesses either die in year 1 or die in year 5. And through the ups and downs of COVID, which I asked you earlier, you have survived, which basically shows that you have the right understanding of growth metrics. I think the only thing is you're getting a little impatient now to grow faster, faster, faster. And I understand the need, but financing costs money. And in this climate right now, not the rains, but investment climate in Nigeria right now, raising funding from outside, from an equity point, is a little hard. The app is a great touch because it now opens you up to a whole new market in terms of, we're technologically enabled. I also noticed you dropped AI in there, which is also another nice thing to have. But you need to understand, or for your own valuation, you need to understand the cost of of financing, whether it's equity or not. And the second problem is, this is going to sound counterintuitive, but indulge me. Too much money sometimes kills a business, because what it does is that it takes away the responsibility from you to be frugal and be responsible towards your spending. So right now, you know that you have to hustle, that you have to kind of get next month's customers to pay next month's payroll. You have to do some other promos or whatever to try and get your stock out. When you have too much money, what happens is that you become a little complacent, not you per se, but people generally become a little complacent with their inventory or hiring and things like that. So growth too fast also becomes a problem. Uh, I think you're doing really well in a quarter. If you can do 2 million in net gains, then I think you really should just maintain your pace. I know it's not what you want to hear, but slow and steady is much better than fast. trust me, I've seen companies in similar situations raise too much money, and within 2-3 years, because they think they can delegate out everything, they can hire their way out of the problem, they can keep innovating new solutions. Suddenly you have a ton of inventory that is not moving. Suddenly your payroll is too bloated. You're paying too many people to do the same thing. And somehow, because you got relaxed, you've lost the edge in your business. So think it through. Yeah, think it through. Just consider what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's the right thing for you, but just think about it, and maybe it may just put it into a different. Before we wrap up today, is there any questions that you have directly for me? Is there something that I can answer for you specifically?
Okay, so for a business that wants to scale, what would be your advice?
So scale usually comes at the way that I figure out scale is that it's usually a distribution issue. So first of all, you got to figure out if there's a demand for a product, which obviously there is. The second question is how quickly. So scale at that point now becomes a question of how quickly can you get your product across multiple channels, how fast and how wide. So if you're using Instagram or you're using digital marketing, that's one avenue. If you're doing trade shows, that's another avenue. So now the thing is you want to try and go as wide as possible as opposed to deep. If you're looking for scale, then that's the game to play. So you now have to start testing additional distribution channels that you were not trying out earlier. Even if it didn't make sense then, it is necessary to at least try one to see how it goes, because usual channels bring usual customers, and for you to do scale, you need to go in the unusual route. Make sense?
Sure.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I wish you all the best.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
pleasure.
Same here.